I'd like to call the City Council meeting to order this January 6th. Everybody please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. If you have any phones or other devices, if you please put them on silent. First item up tonight is approval of the agenda. We have one addition under department reports under A1, appointment of EDA vacancy. And item H, which will be solar farms. That'll be the topic. Those are the only two additions, I believe. I'll look for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, opposed, carried. Approval of meeting minutes from December 2nd, December 17th, and December 30th. Was there any additions, corrections, or questions?
Mr. Mayor, council members, in your packet there was one typo that was under the sewer rates. That's been corrected to change from 1,000 to gallon. And that was in the December 17th meeting.
With that correction, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor? All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approval of bills to be paid. Was there any questions or inquiries?
All look good. I'll make a motion.
Second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda for this evening. Resolution 100-16, approval of December 2015 journal entries. Item B is Resolution 101-16, accept December 2015 donations. Item C is Resolution 102-16, approval of 2016 annual resolution. Item D, Resolution 103-16, update 2016 city fee and charge schedule. Item E, Resolution 104-16, temporary 1 to 4 day liquor license for River Lakes Hockey Inc. for April 9th, which is their beer and wine tasting. And item F, Resolution 105-16, acceptance of year-end 2015 pay equity report. And item G is acknowledge People Services December 15 written report. Is there anything we want pulled out of there? Otherwise, if not, I look for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Opposed? Carried. Move on to department reports for this evening. First up is the Great River Library and Brandy.
Good evening. And you got it? Okay. Good evening. And my name is Brandy Cantor. I'm Patron Services Supervisor for this part of the Great River Regional Library System. And it's my great pleasure tonight to come and introduce to you your new Library Services Coordinator for the Richmond Library. This is Jason Kirchhoff. He started in December, and so I wanted to bring him, introduce him to you, and also take a few minutes afterwards to go through just briefly some of the good stuff that we've been doing with the library and the community. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Very nice meeting you all tonight. I've been with Great River for approaching 3 years now. The last 2 I spent as a library associate in St. Cloud. Like Brandy said, I've been on the job here in Richmond about a month, and it's been wonderful getting to meet the people of Richmond. I'm looking forward to meeting many more people and to building as strong of a library as we possibly can with you all. Thank you all for having me. I wanted to thank Marty especially for his service, and thank you for repairing the window at the library. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So with this PowerPoint, I'll go through it briefly. I know you've got a lot on your agenda, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do have some handouts that I'll leave here in case somebody wants to look at it later for more in-depth information. So Cindy, go ahead. All right. So the Richmond Public Library is a partnership with Great River Regional Library. The way that we work is the cities where we have libraries, and we have 32 libraries. The cities provide the building, the furnishings, and the maintenance of the building, and Great River Regional provides the staff, the technology, and of course the library materials to make that. As a regional system, it's really an amazing system that we have. For 8 years, I was the library service coordinator in Royalton, so also another small town. And I can tell you, Great River Regional provides a real benefit for small communities because there's simply no way that a community of this size or Royalton size could have the resources otherwise that Great River provides without being part of that regional system. So we have one online catalog and website at www.griver.org. Information services, computers, digital access. We have delivery Monday through Friday of holds, even though this library isn't open Monday through Friday, but we still do have delivery around the region. So we can move things really, really quickly. We have what's called a floating collection, which means that everything that's within the catalog is available to every patron no matter where they are. And you can place a hold and get that item sent in. And because we have that 5-day delivery, it can happen pretty quickly most times. And we have access for rural residents, and most of our funding, about 75% of our funding is county-based, but we also get state funding in the form of regional library basic system support and telecommunications, and that is what allows us to ride the high-speed internet, which is a really big draw for us at the libraries. Okay. Just some fast facts. Our system is bigger than Rhode Island, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. combined. We serve 6 counties. It's a really large area. We have 43 school districts, like I said before, 32 libraries. 10 of those libraries are within Stearns County, and that lists those libraries there. Out of a population of about 151,000, about 43,000 have library card holders, so that's about a third of Stearns County residents are library card holders. Okay. Enrichment activity, we have 722 active borrowers as of January 1st, 2015. Now I want to clarify what that means. 722 people who actively using their library card who list Richmond as their home library. So there may be people from Painesville, St. Cloud, Cold Spring, lots of other places that come to the Richmond Library as well, but you have 722 people that call the Richmond Library their home library. All right? 84% of those people are from Richmond, and another 10% combined from Cold Spring, Painesville, Eden Valley, and St. Martin. So we can kind of get that out. We do lots of programming here. Jason's predecessors done a lot, and Jason's going to continue that, so you can expect to see lots of good story hours and other kinds of things. In 2015, excluding December, we had 28 programs here, enjoyed by over 200 patrons. In addition to that, we had the concert in the park event for the whole community, and almost 120 kids participated in the summer reading programs. So lots of people enjoying the programs here. Okay. Some other things that we bring, again, we talked about the information services, the collection, books, magazines, DVDs, and music CDs. If you didn't know, we have those. We do have those, as well as a digital catalog. Almost 1 million items, valued at over $17 million. And just in Richmond, people using the Richmond Library used items in value exceeding $300,000. So I think that really shows that there's a lot of use, even for this small community. We had approximately 8,500 visits, is what we expected in 2015, over 3,500 checkout sessions. So almost 5 items per session. Okay. But people do a lot more than just check out books because we have the computer use the high-speed internet for wireless and other things like that. We also have the programs, newspapers, things like that. We get a lot of people who come to the library not just to check out items. And so that's just one snapshot of that. Go ahead to the next one. This is the one that might be even more surprising. We hear a lot of people saying, why do you need physical libraries? Why do you need physical books in the age of Google and Kindle? We did a survey looking at how people are using our collection, and only 4% of our checkouts are digital collection. Obviously, our digital collection is smaller than our physical collection, but still, people come to the library for physical content, for books, for music, and for DVDs. And I think that's we were surprised. We knew they were coming to the library for the physical content, but we didn't realize how much more that was than digital. So we wanted to share that. We thought it was pretty good news for the viability and the future of libraries. All right. The Arts and Cultural Heritage Funds, you might have heard of the legacy programs that we have here. For Stearns County, in 2012, we spent about $72,000, and since 2009 to 2014, over $400,000 that we've put into this community, into Stearns County's communities in terms of legacy programming. So that's just a great benefit and brought all kinds of amazing programming. Authors, artists, drama, culture stuff, just a really wide range of programming. Okay. Other programs, we have the Adult Book Club here. We had a really successful program, Are You Smarter Than Your Smartphone? We also have what's called Book a Librarian, which is where someone needs additional extra support. They're doing genealogy, they just got a Kindle for Christmas, and they want to know how to use the silly thing. We can do what's called Book a Librarian, where we can bring a professional librarian from St. Cloud out to the local community to spend that quality long-term commitment time with, not long-term commitment, you know what I'm saying, a longer period of time with that patron in order to really get in and answer their questions. For teens, Zentangle, art classes, performers. For families, we had harmonica lessons at the park here. We had movie nights, the yo-yo extraordinaire for children, making musical instruments, summer reading program, of course, before, and the Tremendous City Celebration. And Jason's going to say just a couple things about that.
So yeah, I haven't been on the job very long, and the Tremendous Evenings celebration was shortly before I started working, but I've heard a lot about it. In coordination with the city's event, we had a little program at the library. We had music by Marilyn Krotlow, who sang some holiday songs. We had some crafts for the children to put together. We did some prize drawings. We had hot cocoa. We had hot cider. We had some popcorn available, and all total, we had 370 people come through the library doors, which was a spectacular success. And we fed some people. We got some library cards signed up, and we put some smiles on some people's faces. So it was a successful night at the Richmond Library, as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, the next one. In 2015, we did what we call a library impact survey. Fancy terminology. Basically, we asked our patrons, what do you use the library for? Why do you come see us? And we specifically wanted to look at why people came in and used our internet computers and that. And the results, again, were kind of surprising. Over 31% using for employment searches. Again, almost a third for educational activities, and another third for information on health and wellness topics. So people are using our computers for really important things to help them have better lives, and to help them get better jobs, to help them improve their health and wellness, to help them educational opportunities at all levels, at all ages. So that was good to know. And some additional services that we found not everybody knows about that we really want people to know about is our online databases. And so these are just a few of the ones that we have, and I could spend a long time rattling off other ones because I really love them. But Ancestry.com, if you've got people who like genealogy, Ancestry.com is an amazing database. It's free with your library card. Chilton's Library, if anybody here ever does car repair, and you want to know how to do your car repair, through Chilton's Library, you can get that information on any model, any make you want, print out the specs, and you're ready to go. The ProQuest Research Companion, if you've got someone, a younger person who's doing a research paper for the first time, they don't know how to do that, that's a great resource. It helps them basically learn how to do research. Learning Express Library, that one and another one called lynda.com, Lynda, are really amazing, and we want to get the word out to local businesses in that about these because there's some amazing pieces to them. Learning Express Library has licensing exam practice tests. It has GRE practice tests. It has ACT, SAT practice tests, a lot of things like that to help people get the skills they need in order to advance themselves. Lynda.com has free trainings for all different kinds of, like Microsoft Office Suite, Microsoft Excel, Word, those kinds of things, digital photography. And again, it's all free with your library card. Pronunciator, has 60 different languages that you can learn. And then MinLink and Interlibrary Loan, if we don't have it, we will find someone who does. All right? So your library, in summary, is providing a positive economic impact for your community because we're really doing a lot to help people find new jobs, gain educational opportunities, those kinds of things. Preparing children and adults to succeed and increasing access to technology. And so, going to the next one. We just really want to thank you for your support because by supporting the library here, you're really doing a lot for your community. So thank you so much. And thanks for having us tonight. And again, Marty, thank you for all you've done. We'll miss you. All right. Thanks. Yep. And Cindy, if I can get my jump drive from you. And, questions.
You
Yes,
got
of
time
course.
for questions?
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, just a couple of questions. First of all, in the whole library system that you have going, where does Richmond rank in activity? You have any idea?
Ooh, I would have to do a little research on that. Because it's a 20-hour library, it's not near the top, but it's not at the bottom either. So among our 20-hour libraries, I think it's pretty much in the middle in terms of how active it is.
I was just wondering if it ranked with population, usage or whatever.
It's well used.
And you mentioned that the usage there was when they used Richmond as a home address, but then you came down to the second one and you said that 10% of it was Cold Spring and whatever. Did you ever break it apart that how much was used by the townships in the area? Because the townships did help pay for the building.
Sure. Unfortunately, with our data sets, it breaks it down by zip code. And I can't break it down further than zip code. So it just clumps it all together by zip code.
Okay.
You're not the only one who asked that, and I wish I could give you a better answer, but that's just the data that we have, unfortunately.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. And would you like me to leave handouts somewhere?
We got
I'll
that.
leave-
That came on our email.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Jason. We're looking forward to seeing you next. All right, at this time, we'll move on to item I, or item B, whatever, however you say it. Resolution 10616 is appointment to fill the EDA vacancy. If you look on your dais, there's a packet on there, or 2 sheets. One is his resume, and I am moving Jim Bruner forward to fill the spot recently that came available. Obviously Jim's got a lot, according to his things, he's got a lot of experience in EDA in Winona County, where he was from, and in St. Cloud business. And obviously he works in the bank, which I think would help the EDA with their revolving loan funds and some of the other stuff you guys are working on. And Jim's up here.
Jim Bruner, I live just south of town in Richmond and work at State Bank of Richmond. Like to be involved in EDA as our town grows. Obviously the bank does well and all the businesses do well, so I'd like to do what I could to help promote Richmond and help it grow.
So,
you're making an appointment, Mr. Mayor, at this time?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I just,
With then, as president of the EDA, welcome aboard, Jim. And we'll be looking forward to working with you and see you at our next meeting, which is we got a new calendar, don't we?
26th.
26th, is it? Okay. Here at City Hall. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
welcome. So Pat, you making a motion to?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second. Go ahead, Jim.
Tim second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Welcome aboard, Jim. All right, at this time, we'll move on to the police department report for this evening. Chief Chris Boucher.
All right, guys. I think you should have a copy in front of you. And I passed a few out. I'm here to talk to you about the months of October and November. Before we do that, just to let you know, I'm extremely close of having the year-end report done already. So hopefully Angie will get those numbers of December the next couple weeks, and I can get a copy to Marty, and we can get that also wrapped up for the year, which is good. So if we start with number 1, you able to find yours?
Yeah, I'll find it.
Okay.
Continue.
All right.
I read through it.
Okay, excellent. So the month of October, we had 107 calls. There we go. It's up there too. 107 calls for total calls. We had 6 medicals, 6 suspicious vehicle people reports, 3 ordinance violations, 3 open doors found on businesses, 53 traffic stops, 44 warnings during those stops, 24 citations, and 35 calls for miscellaneous service. The month of November, we had 91 calls, 5 medicals again, 2 suspicious people or vehicle reports, 2 open doors on businesses, 51 traffic stops, 42 warnings, and 25 citations. Okay. We had 31 calls for service. We did have 1 DUI, which was a first degree, which would be a felony DUI. That means the person had, I think it's like 3 within 10 or 4 within 10. So, 3 drug violations in the month of November. And then number 3 is January through November, we had 982 calls for service in the city of Richmond compared to 874 the year before. So that's an increase of 108. December 6th, it was Sergeant Bloom, myself, and Officer Zayas met with the Assembly of Civil Rights organization. They just wanted to sit down with us. They had a bunch of local Hispanic population, had various questions for us. There's a representative from the country of Mexico was there, so it was quite interesting. We met at the church in Cold Spring on that. Number 5, December 17th, we did the shop with a cop thing again. That was in the city of Sauk Center. And then on the 21st, I was asked to go to Litchfield. They were short a few officers, so I went down there, did that. And then we had someone, I can't tell you their name, but it was somebody from Cold Spring, approached me and gave $500 to the police department to pass out to 10 different individuals. And some of those individuals do, in fact, live in Richmond. So we went around and passed out $50 bills to 10 various people. And then the last one is the donations, and I think there's going to be a couple that you do not have on your list. If you don't mind, I'd like to read those off. Those are people that have donated. We are getting they call it a dual-purpose dog. It's a dog that's it's more than dual-purpose, but I mean, it locates narcotics. It's also going to be able to track people, and also on top of that, it will actually apprehend people too, criminals, obviously. So I'm just going to read those off if you don't mind. There's a couple that are not on your list that I've got since I gave this to Marty, but we've got number 1 is and these are just in order that they showed up. Nothing other than that. $1,000 from the State Bank of Cold Spring, $500 from the River of Life Church, $500 from the Cold Spring Brewery, $300 from the Cold Spring Dairy Queen, $200 from Murphy Granite, $200 from Burnix Pepsi, $100 from Robert and Cheryl, I'm not sure, it's Kubik, something like that, I would have to say. Okay. $50 from the Granite Community Bank, $50 from Bacchus Wood Products here in town, $50 from the Sidebar, $50 from Clifford and Betty Johnson. They live just north of Cold Spring. Winters Plumbing and Heating here in Richmond, $50. $200 from the Cold Spring Legion, Post 455. Beckenel and Lean Family Dentistry, $100. $1,500 from Horizon Roofing Incorporated. It's a family that lives in Wakefield Township. That's how they're associated with this. $3,000 from Golden Plum. $100 from Shirley Filla. She's a resident in Cold Spring. $50 from Plattenberg's Market, which here is in Richmond. $1,000 from Westwind Woodworking. That is not on yours. And $500 from Shields, which is a sporting good place in Way Park. And like I said, we're roughly it's $9,500 we've so far gathered, and that's roughly in about 2.5, 3 weeks time. So just so everyone's aware that if you do make donations, they are tax deductible also. So that's kind of where we stand. Do we have?
What's your total cost on that again, Chris?
The total cost for the dog, this is a ballpark idea, between 15,000 and 8,000 or 18,000. So between 15 and 18,000. The good thing, like I was telling you before, when we got Riley, in January here, we did try to make him an apprehension dog, and it did not work out well. So instead of trying to wreck a good dog that finds narcotics and tracks people, Abby is coming soon to retire, so we're going to be keeping 2 dogs on, which will not only just benefit Cold Spring and Richmond, but it benefits anybody that doesn't have a dog. For example, St. Joe, right? They don't have a dog, so they would call us. We've been called by St. Cloud. St. Cloud has 2 dogs, but you can only have a dog on so many hours of the day. So we get called in for various places like that. So we are talking about keeping 2 dogs because it definitely is a benefit to having the dog. Like I told you before, the dog is the only thing on the police department that generates money. You might think getting a ticket, and writing speeding tickets and so forth generates money. It does not generate money. To give you an idea, speeding ticket. Let's say we write a basic speeding ticket here. The speeding ticket is $135. The fine amount is only $20 of that. Okay, so if you have an attorney fee, which the city pays the attorney, let's say $32,000, you're not writing enough speeding tickets to pay for that attorney. So if you stop a car, you believe there's drugs in there, you run the dog around the car. The dog indicates on the car, there happens to be drugs in there, find some money, we take their car. That's how we fund the canine. The Tahoe, stuff like that. That was paid through drug revenue. So it kind of gives you an idea. There is money to be made when you're fighting drugs. So, do we have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yes.
On their open doors, I know that's kind of keeps coming up. Is a lot of repeat businesses? Or is it?
A lot of it's repeat. To give you an idea, though, one night, this is a few years back, like talking about open doors. I don't know how it happens, but there was one occasion where I actually found a bank in Cold Spring unlocked, if you could believe that. So to say that it's not hard to find an open door, it's extremely easy to find an open door for whatever reason. Maybe it's a door where they had some packages delivered, at their business, and they never use that door unless it's a package delivery. We find that UPS delivered 3 large packages. Instead of running through the front door, we open the back door, we drop the boxes off. We never thought about locking it because we never unlock it, that type of thing. But to say that we find the same businesses open, for sure. I'm not going to say that, every business here in town at some point throughout the year won't be found unlocked. No, probably not. To say that we find a business unlocked 3 times in a year, very possible. That's very possible. And you'd be surprised on some of the businesses you find open. Mm-hmm. So, but that is a benefit too. And to say that, like 2 open business doors, there's occasions where the officers don't get a chance to check the doors throughout the night. That type of thing. Like actually pulling doors, we used to have to pull doors every night. That's no fun. But not saying it shouldn't happen more often, but it is nice to see that, the city of Richmond here, you've got, in October there was 3, and in November there was 2. So the guys are and gals are, are definitely out checking doors, which is a positive thing. Mm-hmm. So. And then before I do leave, I did bring an officer with. I know we've had that discussion about bringing other various officers in. Anita does work nights, so it is difficult to get some officers to show up to these things. But she has training, and that's why she is here tonight. So she's playing hooky from training for a little bit to meet you guys. All right, so I'll let her introduce herself. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm Officer Henningsgaard. I've been with Cold Spring for about a little over 2 years now. I actually just started full-time here in July. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions.
How do you say your last name again?
Henningsgaard?
Henningsgaard.
Henningsgaard, yeah.
Got it.
It's a lot more intimidating than it actually is.
Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Welcome
Thank you
aboard.
for your report.
All right.
Or, yeah.
So I'm gonna get her back to training.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to emergency management. Jesse Coleman.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, Marty. Just a quick rundown from 2015 year-end report. We ended up with 5 weather events total. I did report on them towards the end of the summer. So it was a little down from last year, which is good. I also this year just took delivery of one of the portable radios we ordered. The second one should be coming here in the near future. After the second one comes in, we're going to get it programmed and get that in service as well. We did recently sell our civil defense truck on sealed bids. That was a good deal to move that one down the road as well. Upcoming Tornado Awareness Month, April 11th through the 15th. Statewide tornado drill is Thursday at 1:45 and at 6:55 in the afternoon and evening. Every year I put a packet together and drop it off at the various businesses, nursing homes, assistant livings, schools, etc. I also plan on going through and updating the city's emergency plan, and just backing up a little bit, the reason for Tornado Awareness Month for the state of Minnesota, just a couple quick facts. On average, just the state of Minnesota, there's 40 tornadoes a year throughout the whole state. 2012, there was 37 tornadoes that touched down in Minnesota. And 2010, if you all remember, that was the year of the hail. That was the record set for Minnesota with 104 tornadoes across the whole state. So that's pretty much why Minnesota is being proactive at it. And just hoping for a upcoming quiet tornado season. So other than that, I know it was quick. If anybody has any questions, comments.
No, thanks, Jesse.
Jesse.
Have a good evening, guys.
We'll move on to Public Works Department.
Good evening, gentlemen. If you guys remember last month, we chatted a little bit. I had a lot of vacation to kind of burn up, so I have done that at the end of the year. However, I came back to work. We did have to, December 26th, we did have a snow event. So I did have to go out and plow. We started about 5:30 in the morning. I did scrape the hills down to 23. I try keeping those things kind of clean so we don't have ice buildup, not that we have a car go sliding out onto the road. And we also take care of the northwest corner of town there, the hills over there. I just try to keep those things scraped. So what I do is I start scraping with a smaller truck, take my time, and I can scrape those streets off. And I wait until after that event, the snow event, or if I think it's going to start clearing up, then I'll go with the larger truck. So that particular day I started out at noon, and I think I got finished up about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And then what we do is I get a hold of Kenny, and I did center whatever I could, or whatever I thought we should. And then we started at midnight, and I think we went until 2:30 in the morning. It was about 3 hours of cleaning up is what they did. Along with that snow removal, I did damage the truck. We did hit a gate valve that was standing up a little bit in the street. I did damage the plow in the front, not the truck, but the plow in the front. I did have that repaired at a cost of $225. What happened is the A-frame in the front of the plow, when it hit the manhole, or actually the gate valve, it tripped, and the plow went up violently or fast, and it couldn't slide fast enough, so it actually bent the frame on the plow. So we got that part fixed, and now we'll have to, I want to keep the truck here for one more snow event, and then once I use that blade, I got to replace the cutting edge because I damaged the cutting edge too. So the truck will have to go back, or the plow will have to go back to Mayor's Repair to get that part fixed. So that's one of the things that happened there. I am going through the process right now of looking at our inventory as far as streets are concerned. We'll be meeting next month, I do believe, with Cold Spring, because we got to start getting the ball rolling again with our streets. Remember, this year we're gonna start doing some seal coating. We did crack filling last year. We'd like to do some seal coating this year. So we'll have to start putting some of those numbers together for that. So that's what we're kind of working on right now. I got to get the truck for DOT. The DOT inspection is due at the end of the month. So I'll have a guy come over and do the DOT inspection of that truck. So that's kind of like what's happening right now with the maintenance department. Have any questions?
Anybody? No, thanks,
Okay,
Gordy.
thanks.
Thanks, Gordy.
We'll move on to River Lakes Arena and Parks. And Kevin, you want to hit on the Ricori Trail while you're up there too?
Absolutely. Love to. Obviously, we're in the middle of, in the belly of the beast right now. Active. Just for this month alone, let's give you a little update on what's coming up in January. We've got 3 tournaments coming in. So we got 4 weekends, and 3 of the 4 weekends have tournaments. So this weekend we got a Pee Wee B tournament, and we got a Squirt A, and then we got a Bantam B tournament coming up. We got 4 high school games scheduled in the building for this month as well. So weekends are pretty packed and busy, and so are weekdays. St. John's Intramural League and Broomball start up next week. So that takes us to full capacity basically through the end of the season. So as far as what our clients and tenants want for ice usage. The disappointing part so far this year has obviously been the outside rink. We haven't. Basically, we've got all the snow taken off. The warming house has been, primed and ready to go. All the hoses and everything are ready to go for this Saturday. Will be the day. Probably Friday night. We'll get working on it Friday night. The cold front's supposed to come through sometime during Friday, so Friday night we'll be putting water down, and then Saturday and Sunday. If the temperatures are right, we can put it in 3-4 days. So shouldn't be a big deal, but we just haven't been able to do it. I know they've got it open at Pioneer Park, and I don't know when they were putting water down unless they were coming in at 2 in the morning to do it. Yeah, it's been disappointing, but we'll get it in as quickly as we can. On the flip side of that, our holiday open ice inside the building was well attended because of the lack of outside ice. So the open skates and the open hockeys and stuff like that were pretty well attended over the holiday season. I think we had a total of 28 open ice sessions during the holidays. So we offered plenty of opportunities for people to get their skating and hockey and inside with our open ice stuff. So that being said, everything else is going pretty good down at the building. I got a small issue with the Zamboni right now. I thought I had it, but apparently I didn't. The coolant fan on the Zamboni is a 2-speed fan, and it's not coming on high speed by itself. So I've done just about everything I know of possible from my experience. So I'm going to call my guy and have him come out this week and go over it, because we need to have, if the fan isn't running properly, the Zamboni is not to be taken out on the ice, because it'll overheat itself and won't be good. But otherwise everything else is going pretty good around there. It's just normal maintenance and little annoying things that kids do that drive you sometimes batty, but it's okay. Ricori Trail, we got a meeting tomorrow. There's really no updates on the Ricori Trail at this time. The board itself will switch chairman this year, at the next meeting, which is tomorrow at 9 o'clock in Rockville. It's Cold Spring's turn to chair and secretary the board. Generally what happens is if a town has the chair, the town also has the secretary for that year. And then Rockville has always been the treasurer, because that's where the bank is at. So Marty gets to take the treasurer duty over. It's a big job, Otherwise, there's nothing new to report there. We're still negotiating with the railroad over price of the corridor, and we're just waiting on that. I know that SDH has been working on some borings and some surveying and things like that, but nothing earth shattering with the Ricori Trail. I spoke with the AMC people, Tammy, and we're going to start working on the concert series. Hoping to have that finalized by the end of, well, yeah, but I talked to Tammy. We'll get together. The plan was to get together after the holidays with that group and start to put that together. So we're hoping by end of February we've got a set schedule. If you don't have anything, that's it for me. I need to be back in 5 minutes.
Quick,
Go ahead.
Quick. I know you guys are really busy and super crazy over there. Can you please keep up with the update on the sign? Can you keep the sign updated outside?
Yeah.
It seems like we're behind right now. There's still a bunch of things in it.
It's right here in my pocket.
And if we could just get that back updated for the month of January, what's going on?
That was on the schedule for tonight, but I had to fix a piece of broken glass.
That's all right. I understand.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Kevin? Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll move on to fire department report.
Evening, everyone. I'll go through the calls for the month of December. We had 6 medicals, and I have 1 mutual aid call, but I do recall there was 1 or 2 other ones that we were on. So for the total number of calls for the month of December, it's 7 calls that I have, but I know we were on 1 or 2 other mutual aids with Cold Spring and Chain. So for last year, we had 84 calls for the year of 2015. And on the back page that I have for you guys, it's kind of broken down in percentages of the rescue calls, the weather-related calls, the fire, the good intent calls, which would be getting paged out and then canceled en route. So it's kind of broken down that way in percentage-wise. Hiring members, we're still continuing the search for new firefighters. We're still got the 2 spots or positions that we need to fill for that. We did put flyers in our calendars that we passed out in December. We put a little flyer, a little memo thing in there looking for firefighters. I do believe it's on Facebook. We're just coming up with some different routes and avenues to get more people out there aware that people are looking for first responders and firefighters. Which brings me to the calendars that we did pass out on December 23rd. If we missed anybody out in the city, just let us know. You can stop up here at City Hall. Cindy has a couple calendars that she can hand out to you guys. And then training for the month of December, we did a search and rescue along with air management up at the school. We did it was a search and rescue with a rope system where you go in so many feet, you tie off, and you can search a larger area. If you got more of a warehouse or a larger building or something like that, you can do a larger search that way. So that's what we did for our training. And that's pretty much all I have. Any questions or concerns? Comments?
Chief, when you say you're too shy, is that too shy from the 26 or from the 24?
We'd actually have 25 if we get the 2 on. So we're at 23 right now, so we have 25.
So basically for 100 years we were at 24, so really officially looking at that, you're only 1 down.
Right.
Any applicants yet?
No. Nope, like I said, we just put the thing in the calendars and we're gonna have to run another ad in the Cold Spring Record and stuff like that, so.
There was one in the paper, I haven't seen one in the paper, so I was just wondering when that was.
There was something in the Cold Spring Record, that one expired, so we're gonna have to run another ad, so I'm not sure if we're gonna run in another month or a couple weeks or whatever, but definitely have to get on that.
And seeing that it's gotten a little colder here and the ice is starting to get a little thicker, do you guys do any type of an ice rescue training thing at all? Where you go out on the lake at all or anything? And
we have not as a
department.
department.
Falls in or whatever.
Right, we have not as a department since we lost the townships, but the chain of lakes, they're setting up a drill this month and they've invited us to come out and participate in that as well.
Perfect.
I know 1 or 2 of our members did it last year with those guys, so.
Okay, great. Nope.
Tim?
Are you doing the polar plunge and the staircase, the stair climb as well?
I am not, but other members are.
Or-
Just to clarify that.
And there's some donations or something that people can maybe get a hold of you? Is it for the,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Just want to make
They
sure the
can
people,
drop them off up at the city or let us know. We can definitely accept donations for that.
do you know the dates for those two?
What was it? January 27th was the stair climb, I think.
February.
Or February 27th. The polar plunge, I'm not sure on that one yet.
Okay.
I haven't received nothing on that.
Isn't the plunge on the 20th of February? I thought I saw something on that. Did you do the one at Pleasant, at
Yeah.
Pleasant Lake?
Yeah.
I think I saw something on that, that's the 20th of February.
20th is a Wednesday, I think.
No, it's not.
Saturday.
Calendar right there.
It's a Saturday.
20th is a
20th
Saturday.
is a Saturday.
February? Oh, February.
February.
So
So I just want to make sure that people know that if they want to donate or help with that, they can bring it up to City Hall then for you
Most
guys.
definite.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Thanks,
All right,
Steve.
thank you.
Water and wastewater?
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Chad.
Well, Kevin don't like the warm weather, but I sure have been. It's been a nice fall for getting stuff done and no bad issues, so. It's been a, I guess, pretty good year. Everything's been going good. No real major breakdowns, just a couple of minor repairs over the year and. What? Yeah, got those cut down. Now the next trick is gonna get them to burn, so. That's a battle every year. Tried something a little different this year, but maybe something different next year, I don't know. Didn't really like it, but gotta try. Or you don't know if it don't work, so.
So otherwise, everything's been running good?
Yep, actually, it's been running, the plant's been running great. I mean, even Greg's been kind of scratching his head. The BioT on the plant has been working really good, and that could be because of the warm weather as well. I don't know. It might just the water temp's a little warmer.
Yep.
But I mean, we're getting excellent removals. So
I see we hosted a Minnesota wastewater operators deal at Jerry's Firehouse. 58 people. Where did they all come from?
all over, I think. God, I'm trying to think where some of the furthest ones would have came from. Man, I think Hutchinson. I think we had people from St. Cloud. I want to say, was it Appleton even? I mean, pretty. It's a central section, so it goes, I believe, almost to the border to South Dakota, and then to about the metro is about where the area is. So yeah, it drew in quite a crowd, and then afterwards we had a tour down at the plant, and everyone can kind of compare notes and get ideas and what works and what don't. So it's kind of a nice networking thing to do with, other communities do this as well. So
Marty, you had a question?
Mr. Mayor and council members, recently an individual who is authorized to have access to our plant did an inspection without Chad's notice and reported to me that plant is in well-kept condition, well-maintained, and very clean. And so that's a compliment to the operator. I thank you, Chad, for that.
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you, yeah. It's good to know.
Pat?
Oh, Pat?
Chad, a couple of years ago, maybe even last year, we purchased a dehumidifier to take care of the moisture in the building during the winter months and things. How is that working? Or
It's more for in the summer when it's real hot and humid out. It works on an air exchange basis because we want to keep air turnover in there. And when it's 90 and humid out, it's like almost like a basement. It's cool because it's mostly in the ground, the whole lower level and most of the second level. So if you bring in that hot, humid air, everything just sweats. So that's more what we utilize that for than winter use.
because that was quite an investment. I was just wondering how that was.
Yep, it works pretty good. So
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
We'd still recommend us having that tour yet sometime for the council members to go through the facility.
Yeah.
I know we had it scheduled one time, and we still like to do that sometime.
Okay.
Just give me a call. You can do private ones too.
Oh, Chad, come back up for one more.
Sure.
How did your tour on last week go with Little Falls?
Good. They, just kind of wanted to see how things work. It's more the engineer was kind of showing them, what we have for facility and what it can do for them, because they're looking at nutrient removal issues, which almost every wastewater plant in the state is right now. So
they came here looking because ours is top of the line in that setup.
it's a good facility. They went to that day. I believe they went to Mankato as well. And where else did they stop that day? I think they'd went to about 3 different plants that day, so kind of made a tour. And even with the automation and everything, it's kind of how you can, they got a bigger, about 10 times the flow of what we do, but they're outdated and need to upgrade. And so I don't know which way they'll go. That's kind of, I guess, will be their decision, but at least they have an idea what's available. So.
Okay. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad. Thank you.
Moving on to item H, solar farms. For those of you who don't know, there's been 2 applications for solar farms. That one is for 40-acre solar farm, which is actually just north of town here, which is within a quarter mile of the city limits. And the other one is for 20 acres. The 20-acre one already has been approved by the county. And the 40-acre one is going to be coming back up for a public hearing in front of the county commissioners, I believe, February 2nd. And that'd be at 9 o'clock in the morning. Just want people to be aware that it's happening, because you don't hardly see anything in the paper about it. Other than we got one letter sent here that it was going to be going through, and that's pretty much all we've seen about it. So just more or less wanted to let people know about it.
It's for a public hearing with the county commissioners or planning and land use?
Which one was it?
It was a commissioners.
Commissioners.
It's been moved on to the
Moved up,
commissioners.
commissioners, yeah.
So they didn't act on it
They acted
yesterday?
on. They acted on one, the 20-acre one, but not on the other one.
Yep.
So, any other about the solar farms? All right, then we'll move on to council reports for this evening. The EDA. Pat?
EDA, I believe, has not met since our last council meeting.
Okay.
Right.
We did not meet in December.
No, we did not.
And your next meeting is?
The 26th of January.
All right, thanks.
Here at City Hall.
With our new member, ours is 28.
All right, planning commission, there is no report because they haven't met either since the last meeting.
Next
And
meeting's the 28th.
28th.
28th,
Yep.
and that's also here.
Yes.
All right, Park and Trail, Kevin took care of that. Tri-City Cables, next meeting is January 13th at Ricori in the library. So moving on, request for council action for this evening.
I have nothing additional, Mr. Mayor.
Other matters of concern and related items. Our workshop is going to be moved to January 14th because of work. Normally it's the third week Thursday, but we're moving it up a week because of one of our members will be gone. And the reason for that workshop is the sad part of Marty has taken the job in Rockville as the new city administrator. So the council, we're going to try to decide where we're going to go. If we're going to look for a new administrator, finance clerk. We're not sold on anything yet. It's just going to be brought up for topic and going from there. So, Marty?
If I could, I think I'm going to read it, otherwise I won't get through this. As I stated in my resignation letter, saying thank you seems like such a weak adjective to use to express my deep appreciation at the opportunity of serving Richmond City Council and the residents of this great city. Also, thank you to such a great staff, being paid city staff, department directors, and contract staff. It has been an absolute pleasure and honor to be of service to you these past 8.5 years. Saying goodbye to this community is not easy. Thank you for your support and the great respect that you have shown me.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty.
With that, Mr. Mayor, I think we should also inform the public that an interim has been appointed to take care of the first month or two while the search is taking place.
Cindy Anderson, who, if you've come up to City Hall in the past, has been sitting at the front desk. She will be taking over as interim for the time being until the council decides where we go forward from here. So,
Don't go ahead, I'm talking to myself.
like I said, the next meeting will be January 14th, and it's a workshop. I mean, it's open to the public if you're willing, want to come. It's an open meeting, so. Oh, 6:30. And, other items for this evening,
Mr. Mayor, just point over back up to the January 14th meeting. I believe we have to address the letter received from the townships regarding the solar farms and put that in the agenda for the January 14th meeting, please.
Okay. And the other item is, Stearns County Municipal Meeting is on the 19th, January 19th. I believe it's at Painesville, and that starts at 6 p.m. If the date's not right, I will let the council know differently. I think that's the date it is. Is there any other items for this evening?
The fee schedule that was handed out is for FYI to look at and to act on when?
We acted on it tonight.
It was in the consent agenda.
Oh, okay.
You can always make amendments.
Changes, I would make amendments on it, but I think we just have to do that yearly, correct?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
Oh, there it is, okay.
Yep.
So are there any other items for this evening? No. No? Thank you. Means adjourned.